you're keeping well. I think this is about the last time I can get away with saying it, so Happy New Year. It's the middle of January. Feels like a bit after the middle of January is a bit too late really to be saying Happy New Year. But yes, it is 2025. I hope you all had nice restful holidays, nice breaks, recharged all the batteries, got some hobby stuff done, had some fun, back ready for a New Year's worth of projects and things. I had grand plans. I do have grand plans for 2025, and I will go through what those are a bit later in this video. I was going to do a bunch of videos over Christmas, so that I was, a good way ahead in the running, getting into the new year. And then just before Christmas, my camera, my DSLR that I record stuff on, decided just not to turn on. Didn't want to turn on, so I had to send that away to be repaired, and it's now back and was repaired, but I only got that back a couple of days ago, so I've not had a chance to stock up on stuff. I did get, I should have got it ready really, I did get in a pre-Christmas sale, I did get myself a little one of these. You can't see it. It's not a GoPro. It's a I can't remember what it was. Anyway, it was like a special offer thing, and the reviews were good. They said, "Oh yeah, it's just as good as a GoPro and much cheaper." And I've tried it. I've not tried a GoPro. I should rent one from work and see what the difference is. It's not brilliant quality, but it's a very lightweight. Supposedly, it's a 4K camera. Who knows whether that's actually true or not. It doesn't feel like anything particularly wonderful. But I thought that I could use that in combination with this camera to do some, like I can mount it on a shoulder, or probably not under my beard or forehead maybe, to do some painting and sculpting videos, because one of the things that I really struggle with when I set up the camera to be over my shoulder is that I move my hands around an awful lot, whereas if this is attached to my head or to my shoulder, then you should be able to see. So hopefully that will be something that I'll be getting some use out of over the next few months. And I also had an issue with my phone just before Christmas. The screen decided to stop working on that as well, so I had to get a new phone, and I tried the camera out on that. You may have seen it on my blog or on Instagram, the photos that I took of Infamous JT's Wonderful Dwarves that I was painting over Christmas. They were a lot of fun to play with, so I photographed those on my phone while my camera was in the shop, and it was okay, but it's a nice resolution camera, but the macro on it, you have to be really, really close, so you can only take really close up things. So it's not a substitute for my nice DSLR, which is back now, hooray, and functioning. So hopefully functioning. If this video works, it's functioning okay. So I have tested it out. So yeah, hopefully we're good to go. You'll see to my left here that I did actually get round to cracking on with the big Bob Ross painting over New Year. I buried it a little bit here. I did a little test sky, test mountain to try some things out, and then I cracked on. And I've done this in 3 sittings. So I did the sky first, and then I did the sky and the mountains. No, I didn't. I did the sky and that mountain. Then I put this mountain range in here, and then I put the greenery and some of the foreground in. It's not quite finished. I've got a little bit more to do over this side. I wanted this all to dry before I put foliage on this tree, and all the rest of it was getting a bit too sort of slimy and slippery to work. So I do want to do some more on, but I'm pretty happy with how that's turned out. And I intended to film that with this GoPro, but because it came with a big box of accessories, including a strap. But the strap is yay long. That's not long enough to go around my head or around my waist or anywhere else that I might want to mount a camera. So I need to get a proper like head strap or something. So what I tried to do was my beanie's got a little light in the middle of it that you can pop out if you need to wash the beanie. So I popped that out and I popped the camera in there, and I managed to take a really wonderful film of the ceiling whilst I was doing the painting, so that was not very successful. But maybe when I do the last bit, I'll try. Although probably I won't, because I'm not really sure what I'm doing, and I'd rather put that on at a time when I kind of know what I'm doing, just to ease into it. So anyway, I did get that done. I got Infamous JT's dwarves painted. What I've been doing an awful lot of over the holidays is playing and refining and testing the first big thing which is coming up this year, which official announce. I haven't done an official announce for the name yet, even though some people will know what's coming. It's going to be called Thunder Under Mount Silence. And if you were playing the Mount Silence at Night Advent calendar game over Advent, over Christmas, it's an expansion of that. So when I was asking for your feedback at the end of that, that's all been fed into. Got some really good feedback, very positive. Haven't made a lot of changes to the core mechanics, which is good. I've tweaked a few things, but the core mechanics are sitting as is, but I've built on it and expanded it. And you may have seen some of the board tiles that I've been doing. I did those before Christmas. And I made those as 3D tiles, and then I photographed them before my camera died, fortunately. And then I've been working with those in Photoshop and in Illustrator and in InDesign. And those have gone off to the printers. Now they're with the printers to be printed out onto nice chunky cardstock. I've been getting deliveries of dice and card stands and things. I've been finishing off, touching up the miniatures. Martin Long, who did the goblins for me a little while ago, which are very popular, very good sellers in the range. So went back to him. He had a range of slightly bigger, kind of orcish creatures that they're not Games Workshop orcs. They've got a very, to my mind, quite a like kind of what's I'm trying to think how to describe them. They've got quite a Bakshi vibe to them, I think. They've got quite a sort of 1980s cartoony kind of hench person vibe to them, which I really like the look of. So I had to rework them a little bit, and they were in Bees Putty, so I've had to master them in resin and then clean up the resin masters, and they went off to Chris yesterday, so hopefully he'll have the molds ready for those. And there are some new special gnome weapon teams, which I'm quite excited about for this game as well. So I had to sculpt those over Christmas, and then they also went off yesterday to be cast up. So hopefully keep an eye out beginning of February. There will be some pre-orders, probably end of February actually, the beginning of February is a bit soon. Yeah, there'll be some pre-orders, and then hopefully they should be hitting the shelves in April. As a nice swanky boxed game, which I'm very excited about. It's been in the works for quite a long time, this one, and yeah, very very excited about it. If you are a YouTube member or a member of the Oakbound channel, if you subscribed to memberships, thank you. You may remember from the end of last year that I was revising my thoughts on doing a Patreon this year, which is what I normally do, and decided instead to go with the YouTube memberships thing. So it's a little subscription each month. It's less than the Patreon was, and you'll get the same kind of content video-wise as the Patreon was. It's a bit more of a kind of insider's view of what's going on in the studio, the kind of process of getting stuff into production. And that one of the things that I'm going to be doing early in that, probably early February, is putting out a video on the production side of Thunder Under Mount Silence. So we'll be looking at sourcing components, we'll be looking at putting the artwork together, we'll be looking at the playtesting process, we'll be looking at the kind of game design and its origins and that kind of thing. So I'm going to be doing that very early February. Prior to that, there'll be a few things going up in January. I'm going to be making the Patreon videos that I've done in previous years. They're all hosted on YouTube. I'm going to be making those available to subscribers over the next few weeks. And I've also got some stuff that I did back right at the start when I was started doing the videos back in 2020. I did some stuff that was more for my work, because I was working from home at the time then, but we had limited sort of hosting access, so that's also on my YouTube. So I'm going to be making that available to members as well. Some of it is relevant. There's moulding and casting tips and advice and things in there. So that's all going to be going up soon. And then come February, we'll be looking a bit more at the kind of inside day-to-day running of Oakbound, along with some miniatures that I want to be producing this year. And I'll be announcing to members what those are. And there'll be a members miniatures page where you can check out those and buy some of them. There'll be things that are a bit different from what's currently in the Oakbound shop, along with some of the figures from some of the past Patreons, probably. So that's the first thing that we've got coming up this year. That's hopefully going to be released at Salute, because I'm doing Salute this year. So down here, I'm going to walk in front of the camera again. Ooh. Crash! Tripping over stuff all Christmas. I tidied up my studio. I had a really good tidy out the first weekend before the Christmas holidays and got everything really nicely sorted and lush. So it was really lovely to work in here, but it's starting to get a little bit jumbled again now as stuff comes in for the game. And my floor is full of the mountain tiles that I was making back in the autumn, and so these are now painted. Well, they're dry brushed up. I haven't finished painting them, but they're dry brushed to kind of purple stony colour. And I don't know that I'm going to go very much brighter with them, but I want to do a bit more to make them look kind of finished as opposed to just hurriedly dry brushed. So there's a bit more to do on them, but that's going to be my woods game for Salute this year. So if you're coming to Salute, do drop by, say hello, and you can play a game. It should be a lot of fun. And you can also, if you haven't pre-ordered your copy of Thunder Under Mount Silence, you should hopefully be able to pick up a copy of that at Salute. We're going to be doing Woods in the Woods again. That's usually the end of June. At the moment, the end of May, I've got another friend's birthday bash event coming up. And I've got some stuff happening in July. So I don't know exactly when between those things it's going to happen. So keep an eye out, but hopefully that will happen again on a nice sunny weekend, usually in June. And then I've got colours booked again for September. And in between then, hopefully there'll be a few other miniatures releases, but I haven't quite decided. There's going to be some Stalu to release this year. They're good to go. Other than that, I haven't quite decided. I have decided what I'm doing for 2026, so I need to work on those. But if you've got anything that you would like to see expanded prior to that from the Oakbound range, do let me know, and I will work on something. Then yes, in December, I'm hoping to do Dragon Meet. There's been talk that Dragon Meet is moving from the Novotel to the Excel Centre. So whether that's a step up or a step down or a step sideways, I don't know. It's a bigger venue, but it's a more awkward venue for what Dragon Meet does. I haven't done Dragon Meet the last couple of years, largely because the last time I did Dragon Meet, it was so dead. And not the convention, just my stand was very dead. So I sort of thought, well, maybe I don't have that much sort of role play stuff, and it's very much a role play convention. But there is a role play section in the woods, and one of the things that I'm hoping to do in the autumn, I've got artwork commissioned for it. So hopefully that will be ready to go, and I've started working on the system, which exists. As I say, it's already in the Woods system, but I want to strip it out and make it its own entity and really work on refining that and expanding that. So hopefully that should come out as a book. The Woods RPG should come out towards the end of the year and be ready hopefully for a launch at Dragon Meet. And then we'll be pretty much at the end of the year. But in between that, I've got a bunch of hobby stuff that I want to do. So I've mentioned previously the Brian Ansell diorama. I've got those figures on the go. I've just base coated and washed them, so I need to do a bit more work on those. Started working on them. On my to-go shelf, I've got the Heroes from Dungeon Quest ready to go. I've got on the wall up there my complete now set of Warriors Combat Cards figures that as soon as the weather is nice enough for priming, I'm going to get on and get those primed and do those in time for Bring Out Your Lead so that I can run a Goblinoids versus Combat Cards Warriors at Bring Out Your Lead. But I'm also at Bring Out Your Lead hoping to have the big Maison Tile table. Been talking to a couple of guys about running the game from the third ed rulebook on that. So I don't think I've got much more to do on that, but I have got to make sure that we've got all of the miniatures covered. Lots of other people are doing the miniatures, but I just need to make sure we've got the holes plugged. Those are my immediate things that I want to do, but there's always other stuff. I spent most of yesterday, that's not true. I spent most of yesterday doing the next layer on this, but I spent quite a couple of hours yesterday sorting through my cupboard, which is over here. I'm going to do another studio walk around, by the way, soon, because it's changed a little bit, and I think it's out of date, and I'd like to do that maybe with my little camera. I could do that and try and take some more close-up photos as we go. But yeah, my sort of dioramas cupboard over there, sorting out the figures that I've got that I've been hoarding for a while and thinking I want this to be part of a diorama, I want this to be part of a diorama, and putting them in that cupboard on the bases so that when I get in the mood to work on a diorama, I can just be like, oh, well, there's that one. I'm going to work on that one and pick it out and take it out and make it work. But I still haven't finished my big multiple dragons, spine dragon diorama that I was going to do 3 or 4 years ago, or was going to finish off 3 or 4 years ago. I started it like 7 years ago, and I still haven't finished that. So maybe that should be the first diorama that I finish off. But anyway, I've got lots of little projects that I'm excited about doing. So yeah, never short of things, and hopefully there'll be things that you're interested in, and hopefully I'll be able to show you what they are. So yeah, do let me know if there's anything that you've sort of caught a glimpse of or I've talked about in passing that you would like to see me do. Always looking for inspiration. I try not to get too inspired while I've got a project on the go. So at the moment, if I'm very focused on getting Thunder Under Mount Silence out, then I will get that out. But I've done as much work on that as I can at the moment. The rules are being proofread and tested. The artwork is being done. The board components are at the printers. Most of the dice and bases and things are already sorted into packs. So there's not really much I can do until stuff comes back in. So that's why I've started on the Ryan Ansell diorama, because it's a little thing and I can kind of focus on it while I'm waiting for other stuff to come back in. So exciting times. I hope you've also got fun projects to do this year. I look forward to seeing those. Do let me know what they are and where I can find them. If you've got Instagrams or Facebooks, or we're on Blue Sky now. So if you're on Blue Sky, we dumped X finally, after not really ever using Twitter. We dumped X last year and moved on to Blue Sky, and that's kind of growing a little bit. But anyway, wherever you can find me, let me know where you can find me. And if you're interested in finding out a little bit more about the inside workings of Oakbound and how it all sort of starts and evolves and comes together, then I hope you'll consider joining our memberships for the low price of $2.99 a month. And if you're on a browser, you can just click join down below. It's very easy to do, so I am told. Let me know if you have any issues. In the meantime, it's free to like and subscribe, and as I said last year, the content here isn't really going to change. We've got some more classic White Dwarfs coming up to look at. We've got some more project stuff to talk about, but I'm probably going to be doing a bit more Oakboundy stuff this year as stuff comes out. We'll do some playthroughs of Thunder Under Mount Silence and a look at the new roleplay system and that kind of thing. So yeah, I hope you'll enjoy me. You'll enjoy me? Yes. I hope you'll enjoy me. I hope you'll join me and you'll enjoy the journey. Take care, and I shall see you next week.